Right. So Uimhreacha the Uimhreacha complex. Okay, so right, so Uimhreacha complex. Now could you show you would go over like léaráid Uimhreacha different. Okay, so marhample hash major Uimhreacha head blind head wrong or major real hash major Uimhreacha Argand. Now the ways to go in the shin are léaráid. So raise the ways to turn léaráid turn the sha circle agus turn the sha natural numbers. Uimhreacha Argand. And then you okay lesson, okay? Now subset that shin. Turn the sha do you can all integers, so slide Uimhreacha. So slide Uimhreacha and shin is the shin agus in shin to stay the shin. Take a J. Right Uimhreacha, real numbers. Okay, so the real numbers over in your chart. Now to state the real numbers, to cut off, call away the J. The Q for the honey? The relation for your cavista. Okay, so rational numbers. So that in your right may be Jan's way. Now, a new an estimate called her sectional relation. I guess Coimpléasc complex numbers. Okay, so I have wrote to with the real numbers because conjugate the real is the short, they're all real, I guess the Q on Costa. They shouldn't like real, I guess the C to with the all real numbers. Okay, now if there's any kind for the ever complex. Now, during imaginary number, now ever sawacha during okay? So ever sawacha means screen right now la I. Okay? So screen me going ever sawacha la I okay? I guess the same quadrant la square root luji heat. Okay? Right, I guess the same 18 to tower square root luji heat shin going I. So we're going to form imaginary number which is not ever sawacha. Okay? Now, Michael measure ever sawacha, mahample. Okay? Aber score Mrs. Free Handy Ludica. Now, J. Harlem her musician or the calculator. The Chucky math error needs because nearly a okay? So really what to me to yenu. Just a dog jigging should leak shop. There are often some square root minus 4. My since they have later to math error needs because the Higla square root tells that ever do. Rather actually put the yenu because in a square root keha, maybe for square root luji heat. Because when you can use square root keha for luji heat, you to luji keha. So sooner right turn there, when you can use call I, call my square root luji heat. So these tasks with us go to call we call my dog I. So square root the luji keha. All the way across my doll I. She's breathing around the yellow, square root luji snui. See the word? Can you be? 3I. Yeah, so she's going to be across my 3I and so on. So this luji she jig, you to keharai, luji piece of quick, you to quick eye, and so on. Okay? Well, on you okay lesson. Okay? Now, so she wrote the image ever sawacha as an imaginary number. Okay? Now, the ultimate then you screw ever complex. Screw me go need real I guess imaginary like yellow. So marhample. Okay, so just sample it. So sample it that is screw ever complex you have to run your cost like 3 plus k I. Shouldn't ever complex. So the show is your real part. So the real part, I will show the formula the imaginary formula I for your imaginary or for your real I for your imaginary. So you have your real and your imaginary part. Okay? Well on and you okay lesson. Okay? Now the image could you I squared itself. So we just say or punch it, just punch it all. So the I got my square root luji heat. Okay? So here I turn it. Heat na luji heat. So you should when you carry more carnage in your to the formation just on square root. So the single way cosmo luji lúide hí. Now, Jim chuinnim sa gal mar hapla. I gwertha 3. Is a sin galway conjugate. So these points here to I to the power 3. Shinna right carna la I squared midifa I. And then you okay lasha. Okay? So this has to called I squared midifa I. Conjugate has to I squared conjugate lúide hí. So this is in conjugate lúide hí midifa I with the conjugate lúide I. Okay? And then you okay lasha. Right, once it's that I got the keha. The ratio right carne la I carne here. I guess fit I carne high mal I got the keha squared. When you carry the powers, da for da you the keha. So I squared squared. So these are some cosma lúide hí carne here, which is cosma hí. Okay, so we just go in and get keha. So I got the quick. So mathematic I got the quick. Get the galway go shot. So erased should I squared squared maybe for I. So we're going to get the I squared no matter what. So kaita go near versus she's is I squared. So I squared squared version cleardage and then maybe for I. Well on you okay last. As erased the sun cosmna lúide hí in carne here maybe for I with the cosmna I. In shape I got the shape. So I got the shape of the screen mod the I squared cubed. Because da for 3 you the shape. So the shin cosmna lúide hí cubed with the cosmna lúide hí. Okay? I got the sharp. So shin I squared cubed midi for I. So you know and then you wrote to my shot. So we'll just brush the sheet. So the shin cosmna lúide hí cubed midi for I with the cosmna lúide I. Negative pattern entirely. Echo pattern. Lúide hí, lúide I, hí agus I. Lúide hí, lúide I, so did the word in the advertile. They can all go away I agus lúide and so on. See you? So it is in return one yellow. So I got the art. Since I can here made for got the care. Which the cosmla lúide hí got the care, which the cosmla hí. I guess some pattern kernel got over entirely over and over again. I now made this for I, which actually rotates off by 90 degrees. Okay? Right. Yes. 3 midi for I. Because da for 3 sin shape plus I sin sharp. Do you get it? So you must sample one you let us that he can use our paper screw here. Honey can use the anyway. So what the honey can use the paper screw here anyway. Now the I equal to Charaha plus I equal to sharp minus I equal to quick. That's cost. Okay. So I'm going to split this in cash machine. I to the power 40 plus I to the power 7 minus I to the power 5. So here's what kind of leak at her. It's either heen, I minus heen, no minus I. When you can change K progress to the Goni Gola. When you enter power the I to go away the cosma heen, cosma I, cosma luja I, or luja heen, no luja I. So Malakan say I got the Karaha. Okay? So I got the Karaha I squared, maybe if I could power of 20. I squared to the power of 20. Okay? Plus I cubed, maybe for I, minus I squared, maybe for I. Well, and you okay, Rodro Mancha. Okay? So I just split out the powers so that I go I squared the goody because that's when go I squared, the goni cardinal luja here. Because Rod my for sure, entrance has in the goni edge or aha pepper screw here. That I squared equals minus 1. Okay? So remember like luja here got the feet plus luja here ocean squared going to scale cubed. I squared cubed, sin shape plus I sin sharp. So luja here cubed maybe for I minus luja here squared maybe for I. Okay? And then you okay lesson. Because da for 4 to Caraha, da for 3 to shape plus I sin sharp, because da for da Caraha plus he to quick. Okay? Now, the sin jante, rather than 5 pillars in chen, not to 5 pillar, luja here got the 4 because the shop on the ever caught even number is going to go with minus minus plus. So the single way cosmla here, the short go with cosmla luja I, permanent bracket half the shed, I guess the short go with cosmla luja I. So figure it here. In the question is because luja figure it here luja dog I figure. Okay, because the major summary luja I is the luja dog I. Okay. So you get example of the wind or we joke killer tolerate sample of it, right. So I've been a school must say who ever into art at the odd at the healing is quick hit. 3 hit quick at 3, right. Right. So I've been a school must say I to the power 3 hit quick at 3 from the addition of handle. Okay? So raise of the anything, the shrink quadrant, I squared. Now, J high must be for door, let's see here quick a door. So ranch in her doors you to J. K chapel shape. So the elevation for K chapel shape plus the I annually yolar no. Jigging should rot my yen. So to square dogum. So dog for K chapel shape you to 3 here quick a dog. Maybe for I you to 3 here quick a 3. On the new okay, okay, so I squared to the power now because the shot even the Luigi he go away positive because minus for minus you to go need plus. Okay, but the measure odd we show -1, but because there's even there's a go away in there even number to go away quadrant. So raise the same quadrant Luigi he go to K chapel shape maybe for I who's the quadrant I. So figure is the question is just I. Okay. So okay again, are you? Anything Kiel? Just need in your bed? Oh, you okay. Right. Right. So relation is from it back to G screw complex numbers. So now we screw ever a complex. Okay? You can solve them up. So again, are you? Yeah. Right, so now we screw complex number scream are going to real imaginary. So we're handling. P to cost that average school P quadrant 3 plus K I. So P is a complex number, natural is a quadrant 3 plus K I. Permit that Q. But Q quadrant with minus the minus quick I. So it's down the complex number. Okay? I guess permit C is canal so PQ I guess generally equal R. Quadrant just dealing with minus dou. Okay? Think let's say every complex cell gan real part. Your real part's the cash of 0. So it's 0 minus 2i, so just screen to minus 2i. Well on then you okay let's so now within you can't for PQ is R. Complex numbers. Next time it's full of kindle a summer, dealú, meadú, agus roinnt. Okay? So touch me off this is summing. So our is going to touch on a summing. Okay, so for example, going to get a P plus Q. Get the P plus Q quadrant. So the P plus Q quadrant, 3 plus K head I minus plus Luigi dou, Luigi quick I. So really from a summing yeah complex number like hell. Now to the sum of complex numbers like hell, summing the real and the real, I guess summing the imaginary, listen the imaginary. Which is okay again. So you have the 3 minus dou, so it's in quadrant here. It's the K head I minus quick I, you have minus I. So the P plus Q quadrant 1 minus I. Okay, so it's in sum. Here's an example of it. I'm going to screw up my Q plus R. Okay, so Q plus R is in quadrant Luigi dou, Luigi quick I, moji, Luigi dou I. So figure it, it's the Luigi dou, it's Luigi quick, Luigi dou, you have Luigi short I. Okay? Now, Kirk wrote the Jim Goni, Kirkoni squiggle bug led the I. Because Car will be Danish screw short, because question I was and children figure 71 at all. So just Kirkoni squiggle bug, good habit when you complex squiggle bug led the I. Okay? Right. Well, and then you okay, let's sum with complex numbers.
So just like this, right?
just like with like, yeah, real with real, imaginary, job done. Okay, right, right kind of like dealú. Okay, so I'm going to dealú. Okay, so the dealú complex number, so Abernus going to occur to P minus Q. Okay, Abernus going to occur to P minus Q. So raised to P, so should 3 plus Keharai, Luja Da, Luja Coimpléasc. Now, because of that, you're doing minus or complex numbers. Goni costa minus or algebra B. Now, to the trouble is that Goni Shahan Lubunia, because Kaita made it from minus and short. So it's minus from minus and it's due to plus. So you can see what the right level. So Goni negative minus in every complex Goni Shahan Lubunia. And therefore, you have to go in the mistake in the signs. So mid in the margin, so to make 3 plus Keharai plus Da plus Quick I. I guess the shin quadrant 3 plus Da you to Quick, Kehar plus Quick you to Nuyai. I guess in the complex number. It's kind of to every complex is going to screw A plus BI or P plus QI going into form Sean. Okay? Well, and you okay, let's go. Okay? Alright. Now, do you hear another? Some dealú? Meadú, right? So in the end we meadú. Okay, so then we made a complex number, so we're handling. So we quite P meadú for Q. Okay? So this average is going to get meadú P meadú for Q. So this game which is the head complex, 3 plus Keharai, meadú for Luja Da, Luja Coimpléasc. So 3 plus Keharai, meadú for Luja Da, Luja Coimpléasc. So this just costs the algebra. Cost the algebra, meadú to 3 functions for Shan, meadú to Keharai functions for Shan, I guess something to leaks for you. So just cost the algebra, basic algebra for something. You to 3 meadú for Luja Da, you to Luja She. 3 meadú for Luja Coimpléasc, you to Luja Coimpléasc. Keharai meadú for Luja Da, you to Luja Art I. I guess because man as you can join that. Keharai meadú for Luja Coimpléasc, you to Luja Fi I Carnigan. Because of the meadú I for I. Jeta is going to do the I squared. Luja He. So it's raised to which by channel Luja She, Luja Coimpléasc, Luja Art. So minus Coimpléasc, Luja Art to the Luja Fi. So 3 I minus Fi for Luja He. So HB I can test the Luja, HB I can test the Luja or I squared. So Balagonia for your Luja He. Which inside the Gani. Okay? Now, need tumult, you will play our charge in brackets. But to just the Argand sign so could G plus, because minus E for minus B you could plus V. So just Argand sign. I could do I squared, just Argand sign, I just drop out an I squared. Which inside the Gani. Okay? So flick it when you can to the goal of back and lat. Luja She, Moja Fi, so Shin Carjig, Luja Fi 3 I. Okay, so you have to Carjig, Luja Fi 3 I. Okay? Right, Jimmy sample L. Abernus Jimmy Q for R. Q meadú for R. Okay? Now Q meadú for R. It is when we learn Q. So Shin Luja Da, Luja Coimpléasc. I guess the meadú for R Shin Luja Da I. Okay, so Luja Da I for Luja Da, you to Keharai. I guess Luja Coimpléasc for Luja Da, you to plus J I Carnigan. So flicker there, you to Luja J plus Kehar I. Next year the mention I squared, just Argand. Argand sign, I guess drop an I squared. So you to minus J, because we're going to go in real part here the way in your imaginary part and in the dark part. There's no okay Yana. Okay? So it's very pattern, which is a lot. Okay? Right, so she'll make us able to suimiú dealú agus meadú. Jay Harlan Corms is she meadú well in these faster, not just P Q Q was up. I will assume example Jimmy 2PI equals. So J engine shending. So 2PI in the right kernel let Da I in meadú for P. agus the P between conjugate C plus Kehara. So raised in the right turn la do I midifat C plus Kehara. Okay? There's the raised to the goal she I plus art I turn here. So figure you to lose your art plus she I. So just sample a little Corby English midifat I, midifat lose I, midifat do I, and the cash on shop. Okay? So since you have the sample little glass knees, do PI. So obviously the P conjugate C plus Kehara. So this is back to let do I midifat C plus Kehara. I get to back to lose your art plus she I. Right. So since now you're able to summary, can be able to jolly, I guess can be able to meadú. So take another national wrench. Now, shall I end with wrench? Coimpléasc and Comhchuingeach the ever complex you look at me. Now, Comhchuingeach was the individual Comhchuingeach. Comhchuingeach means conjugate. So you ever talk about conjugate and Chinese rubber? G element this is conjugate. Adding sign, adding to goni sign. Okay? Now, it's a question shop. Now, to the individual Comhchuingeach the ever complex, adding sign the imaginary part only. Okay? So just try to free sample the shop. Okay? Take them show over ma. Can you get on here? Yeah. Right, so Comhchuingeach means conjugate. Okay, Comhchuingeach means conjugate. Okay, now so then you quite the so Abernest goal is said. So just lot of complex ever. So Abernest goal is said cosum la quick minus 3i. Okay? Now, can they use then your Comhchuingeach conjugate that shop? So, can you add code done ever 7. So, add code change the sign of the imaginary part. Okay? So, this die screen which conjugate that said, can we go need lean the bug to kill. So, this is screen conjugate the other bacon to go need just lean the bug as a goer. What's it get boy? I was the same conjugate is the reach add sign done imaginary part only. So you have to quick plus 3i. Okay? So you have a couple of samples of the shop. So Abernest go W cosum la 3 plus Kehara. So to conjugate the W, so just you will then Comhchuingeach the W got to be cosum la. Can you be? 3 luigi Kehara. So into shop. 3 luigi Kehara. Okay? Padre and McKenna wine. So Abernest go P. Sorry, Padre, the video is not right. Yeah. Okay. So the P and the Java is going to right. So the P cosum la Jeremy luigi 3i plus dot. Just as an example. Right? So raise the P hat cosum la 3i plus dot. Into y father. You see, grammar then yet I have the end, luigi 3i, luigi dot. Just be clear about swap position hard, just change the sign of the imaginary part of only. And then obviously P-Russian Murishkar, dot plus 3i. So you get on there? So just can you add into code done ever 7. Okay? Shall I get on there? Yeah? Right. Let's go to complex conjugate anyway. So we have this wrench. So I'm going to wrench on it. Okay? So we wrench. Okay? So Abernest is how much a set against W. So Abernest going to get a W around a set of okay? So let's get a W around the set. So this is in cosum quick the W is 3 plus Kehara around the quick plus 3 luigi Kehara. Okay, quick luigi 3i. Right, so let's get a range of complex numbers. Now, just punch you all this into a range of complex numbers. Make it as a range in complex numbers. Get what the end to make the top and the bottom from conjugate down bottom. because the beginning for Richard and I get bon. Chin do higgling Richard and I. Can you get the room with your square root? Be when you top was the bottom with the from conjugate and other get bon. So exactly no kind of shop when you complex conjugate. Time with the for Richard and I get bon. Chin do you with Richard and I get bon. Now A with the from conjugate done bon. Okay? So it is to single of a quadrant. 3 plus KRI is going quick logit 3I medifa quick modulus 3I. It's going quick modulus 3I. Okay? So to make a bit in a top against the bottom from conjugate down bottom. And then just in that mid. Okay? So in the term maybe 3 for quick you to quick jig, 3 for 3I you to nui I. Cehar for quick you to phi I, agus cehar I for 3I you to doig I carni. Iscum, fin the bonus in quick for quick you to phi so quick for 3I you to quick jig I, 3I for quick you to minus quick jig I, agus 25 to minus ni I squared. Now make it as a guni shen. Martin gentlemen is got good, but Horka Calu rod lair boy you get bon bony ma. Should always cancel it. Okay? So to make barking shen la quick jig, luja doig on your cut for minus 12. Because the I squared quadrant luja heen, so luja heen for plus doig you to luja doig. So quick jig, luja doig to my facula 3. Nui plus V you met fish and nui I. Is scum. Is to these to shock only caluma. Mother was the caluma to add down to that. Okay? But the shock only got a calima. So my fact la piece of quick plus nui you may throw a care. Exact from it reached on I give up. Now these criteria skew and going into form A plus BI. So this skews to form A plus BI, you to 3 is going to throw a care plus piece and nui is going to throw a care I. So going to skew going into form A plus BI. Okay? Right, Gaussian can do some in the opposite. So, Jen, a Z round to W and a W round to Z. So, Gaussian can do some a Z round R W. Okay, try to get here. Umagalo asked it, Anna, you okay? Anna, you okay? Right. Then the side round to W now. When you are let it in some door. We're lucky day. Jonathan. So the rate coming from quick logit 3I is gone 3 modulus keher I. Agus the ratio the quick logit 3I is gone 3 modulus keher I. Agus making top to bottom from conjugate to bottom. So sin 3 logit keher I is gone 3 logit keher I. Then that made in sham quick for 3 to quick jig, quick for keher to feet, logit nui I, modulus doig I can hit a scum. 3 for 3 in Lee, modulus 3 for K doig I, logit doig I, logit shedig I can. Okay, so the near doig I can max, that's what I want to scar. So in fact, la quick jig, logit doig in 3, logit fist in Lee I, is can Lee, modulus shedig you to fist a quick. Okay, so frigure fisa 3 is gan fisa quick, luja fisa nui is gan fisa quick I. Okay, and then you okay, that's it. Is it 10? Yeah. Right, I can talk. I can let's go quick check. Can you I squared? Should minus what? So minus 1 for dog egg, should minus dog egg. So quick check minus dog egg, we should do 3. I guess minus 3 minus 3 should minus 3. That's mine. That's mine. And you okay, that's it? Okay, so I guess race should right. And would you get it on the one you're laying or we'll move on? And you okay, Laurent? Am I okay? Right, so I'm drinking head stage on. Right. Head stage on us now, léaráid Argand. Okay? So, léaráid Argand, I guess in Shen Modulus. Okay? Now here within your fridge and léaráid Argand. Okay? So, léaráid Argand, the cost of x, y coordinates, but the time shown net x against y, to me generally real against imaginary. So, this makes the need for how within the Argand diagram that punch you be. At the x axis, shin the real, from which r go near shin, I guess the y axis shin the imaginary. So, you go near real against imaginary. Okay? Now, Abernethy going to mark the shot, so reached, come and check a couple of punches. So, here, so, 3 agus ceathair, luide hín, luide dá, luide 3 agus luide ceathair. Agus an sin an imaginary plane obviously sin i's. So you have to I, dá I, 3 I. Luide I, luide dá I, luide 3 I, which is like another luide ceathair I. This is cost XY plane. Okay? Now Abernethy going to get a can we just go P cosmet 3 plus ceathair I. We get it on the horizontal Venn diagram. So can we just put ceathair I. Okay, so can the parameters in the shot. So 3 is in the x coordinate, I guess 4i is in the y coordinate. So to the goal non 3 is in the 3 plus ceathair I, which wasn't shot, I guess marker shot, I guess could have the letter P. Okay, it's in the letter P. So it's in the coordinates that it's in the parameters complex of it or Venn diagram or léaráid Argand. Okay? Right, so Abernethy guru Q, Jimmy guru Q, quadrant Jimmy luide dá, luide I. So raised when you Q, go non go you luide dá in the real part, I guess she's go you luide I when you the down the part. I guess in the Q. Okay? Now call me course gets plot QI or PI or the graph. So Abernethy what you can cost la PI or the graph. So can they end with that? So this can you come in? PI shin P shin 3 plus ceathair I made for I. So the shin coordinate 3I plus ceathair I can here is the coordinate luide ceathair plus 3I. Make the other one with the chat. So we just made the P for I. So you have 3, I for 3, you have 3I, I for ceathair I, you have ceathair I carni here, so shin minus ceathair plus 3I. So you can shin this word graph, and we shall do have, so the P maybe for I, quadrant minus ceathair plus 3I. So it's a Holland chop. I guess shin, hopefully right, I maybe for P. And then you okay, let's say, P maybe for I maybe for P, right, can okay? Now, couple of punches I could factor ginta for the anisha, right? So, get the dimension, so shin the léaráid Argand, and then you okay love Argand diagram. So it just costs the XY plane, real is imaginary. Right. Now, get canale na modulus. Okay? So could we start modulus? Okay? So modulus. Now, put your modulus on the good side to formula for the honey. Okay? Now, Abernethy could you remember said quadrant 3 plus ceathair I. Okay, so just like we said, cosma 3 plus ceharai. Now, a modulus that said go is screaming to that na to yeline gira editor set. So roinnt modulus is ever we kind of in algebra. Next to me in modulus in complex numbers. Gene calcula modulus in rudder be enemy. Jacob fought the Hewlett Tesha, the decision of fought. So really writing them within your kind of modulus and shop. Now, actually, this said in 3 plus KRI right kernel. So how comes it just come just said and shop or the Venn diagram, punchy kernel up P. Really what the modulus are against you do. What the modulus against it, not Jane fought a 10 punchy a Hewell on bond function. So really to me follow more Jane fought that has your own bond function shop. Vidisha. Shouldn't write the 10 modulus. Okay? So the modulus shouldn't fought at a set on bond function. We shouldn't okay again. Shouldn't really write the magic upper ma. To make upper ma a fought chon. Okay? There's the make upper ma fought. Smeeky go near the formula. Square root. Can you go to x a minus x double plus squared? But really write the from the pound shot. No, it's a squared plus b squared. Where shot a I guess shouldn't be. Okay? So to the modulus go to a plus bi, actually will have said quadrilla a squared plus b squared. So figure you make when you stress. So the modulus that said quadrilla square root 3 squared plus 4 squared. Ni chorin to stahanai. So they just require doing fadanai. So in keher in this case. Keherai, so could the side just keher. Or shouldn't take a okay, so you shouldn't figure it the square root of plus j should be the quick, which the cosm not quick. So Casson's in this called modulus that said cosm not quick. And you okay, that's it. Right. For modulus the q doing that. So Jane modulus to take q. Now the q cosma luja da luja I. Okay? So the q cosma luja da luja I. So now question modulus da q. Okay? You drop the I. So they just require to, when you A gets B, it's A plus BI. Do you get it? So when you modulus, show the A plus BI. So the A cosma 3, I guess the B cosma K. And you drop the I. Do you get this? Right, perfect. Okay, so it is when you said in short, my extension is in short second. The K cosma A plus BI. Okay? So test on the school A cosma luja do, I school B cosma luja he. Okay? So to my other sunilin is our square root that luja do squared plus luja he squared. So to A cosma luja do, I guess the B cosma luja he. This is all again. So figure it, you have to K plus he, not 3 handy quick. Okay? I guess in the modulus 3 handy quick. So test on the go to fad. O show. Position. All of it 3 handy quick. Okay? Now, Jimma fad minus K plus 3i. Because we divide for I, to punch all the cell. Right, and you guys need to know about it. There's a short tower there. My reason has a rudder be for I. Rudder to actually yenu. For to call a more egg 90 degrees anti-clockwise. To make rotate out anti-clockwise by 90 degrees. Maar weten we dan je rudder be for I. So switch is er P midi for I. Switch is er 3 plus 4i. We shall Argand diagram was in chop. Weten we for I. We rotate by 90 degrees. I guess you make a figure. Maar weten we for I je reach. I'll rotate by 90 degrees. I guess we're going to be here minus 3 minus 4i in chop. By 90 degrees. I guess we're waiting for I je reached. We rotated reached. Which is 3 minus 4i in chop. Or 4 minus 3i in chop. And we rotate by 90 degrees to the right corner. So really, I'm now waiting for I to rotate that. I'm waiting for to be for I to the power of 4. And we'll follow regular kernel. Because 0 to I to the power of 4 is 1. So we're just in a full circle. Okay, hey glad. How about it? You'll be pause.